Is it cynical? Is it negative? Is it cheating? Or is it just clever?
Way so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Loophole FC is at it again, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea and their owners, not just Chelsea though, other clubs are doing it as well. It's a huge talking point, navigating the financial rules, the profit and sustainability rules of the Premier League, finding ways around it, and fans of opposition clubs, to perhaps the people that aren't doing this, getting frustrated. Are they right to be frustrated? We're going to get into it today and explain it all in today's video. So as always, thank you for joining me. Thank you for supporting the content. If you want to support me, it's super simple. You just like and subscribe, mate. The old adage. Like and subscribe. If you choose to subscribe, you should hit that bell notifications icon. Right, so you've probably seen from my previous upload today, Chelsea are signing, or on the cusp of signing, the young Aston Villa striker, Amari Kellison, I believe his name is, 18 years old, has made some first team appearances last campaign. By all accounts, is a good player. Chelsea are going to pay £19 million for him. But what is a big talking point and what has been referenced around the news and certainly across social media, which provoked me to make this video, is it's another loophole. So Chelsea have been Loophole FC under the new ownership group, Blueco. First, we amortized contracts. So, we did like 8-year deals. Enzo ended up being 9.5 years, I think, with the extension. And we amortized the cost of their contract and wages spread across the tenure of their contract, which is a way of optimizing how you do the books, essentially. Nothing illegal there. It's something you can do. Chelsea did it. The UEFA initially, and then indeed the Premier League, thought, we find this is a way of them getting a sporting advantage for now. So let's change the rules. Obviously, they couldn't retrospectively ban Chelsea because they didn't break any rules. So they just changed it. But Chelsea were like, no worries. Fine, we're fine. We've made our, a big investment with loads of players. We're cool to continue from here. In fact, Chelsea voted for the change. They were like, we'll see which way the wind is blowing. Yeah, and we've already got, our advantage. Let's vote for the rule change. It's kind of reminds me of when Roman Abramovich voted for financial fair play to come in generally, because he already juiced the league in 2004 and got all these players. And then Man City, Abu Dhabi bought Man City, and he thought, oh God, I'm not the richest kid in the playground anymore. Yeah, let's change the rules. So, it's just part of the game. It's part of the hustle, right? So we had the amortization thing. Of course, recently as well, we've sold the hotels, the Chelsea hotels around Stamford Bridge, to a Blueco Properties company, which is like 80-something million on the books. And they did it in such a way, a creative way, that actually the revenue that has continued to be generated from the hotels goes to Chelsea and not Blueco. So it remains a revenue stream for the club, which again is clever accounting, right? There was a potential vote to change that because, of course, in the Football League, all the leagues underneath the Premier League, you can't do that. Derby got done for it for selling their stadium to themselves. But that remains to be an open loophole. That Chelsea or indeed any other Premier League club are welcome to exploit, take advantage of. So the latest, of course, is Academy products, pure profit. Of course, Chelsea have already benefited from this, from selling Mason Mount for 55 to 60, going up to 60 million to Manchester United, Ruben Loftus-Cheek to Milan. There are others as well. Callum Hudson-Odoi for a tiny amount. Lewis Hall, 28 million plus the original loan fee, and there's add-ons. And more are coming, of course. Trevoh Chalobah, Gallagher have been spoken about. The most likely, of course, would be Breuer and, of course, Mutson, who's going to Aston Villa. For a lot of look, Mutson's just played in the Champions League final, so let's be real here. But £37.5 million. Bearing in mind we already made a few million from the loan fee to Dortmund. He's generating a lot of money, and many people, I thought he was going to go for maybe 28, but he's going for 10 million more than that, essentially. Now, some people are viewing that as an inflated figure, and that Chelsea are buying this young striker from Aston Villa for £19 million also represents an inflated figure. So that there's an understanding here. So this isn't just Chelsea, this is Villa as well, that they can get ahead. So, but in Everton are doing it as well. It's not just Chelsea, right? So what it is, right? Chelsea. Okay, so Chelsea will sell Ian Maatsen to Aston Villa for, say, 38 million quid, right? That's an instant cash injection of pure profit onto this season's books, which is a huge injection. But then they do an outlay for this young striker for 19, let's call it 20 million. 20 million, and they put him on a 6-year deal. So you've only got you spread that, or say we can only do 5 years now. So 6 years deal, but let's just say 5-year deal, so 5 plus 1, and they spread the cost over 5 million. So it's only £4 million a year. So they immediately get £38 million, and the outlay is only £4 million for this player. Now it doesn't matter that he's an academy player for Villa. It's just any player because you've bought a player and you spread the costs. But there's a deal there. So maybe this kid's only worth a bit less than that. But there's an understanding to the benefit of optimizing the value of academy products that's just worth so much in financial fair play. Now, I know Villa have qualified for the Champions League, but there's still such a massive benefit for getting the immediate cash for academy graduates now for, pure profit assets. And it looks like here, there's a conversation, probably in a very quiet room. I'm speculating here. I'm not accusing. People are speculating and creating assumptions. That you'd imagine maybe in a quiet, dark room somewhere, there's a conversation like, you buy him off me, I'll buy him off you, and we'll do it for a little bit more than they should do, and put that on the books for pure profit. Everyone shakes hands and walks away. And we go. So let's talk about this a bit more, right? I see people on, YouTubers like the Football Terrorists and Mark Goldbridge and people bringing it up on cross social media, like, what do you think of this? Is this dodgy? The thing is, right, no rules are being broken, and the position needs to be maintained as the amortization, the selling assets within the club. You are not doing your job properly as a finance person if you're not looking for creative ways to optimize your position financially to speed up the process of what you're doing. If you've got money to put into a company and you want to do it all above board by the books, and we're not going to talk about Man City and their alleged 115 charges or hacked emails that look like stuff was actively breaking the rules, allegedly, supposedly. It's right. How can we? Here's the rule book. We've come into Chelsea. We've bought Chelsea. We're going to sell a load of players off. We've got a new vision. We're going to start again, but we want to get ahead as quickly as possible. We've got Clear Lake Capital's juice. We've got the money. How can we quickly get it into Chelsea as quick as possible without breaking any rules? Well, we've got to find loopholes. We've got to find weaknesses in the system. And you can be like, oh, yeah, that's cynical, that's bad, or whatever. But that's what they're paid to do. These are what the professionals in the departments of their respective clubs are paid to do. Chelsea are leading the way, and then other clubs are starting to copy them. Again, so what are they supposed to do? Like, to play devil's advocate, like, we could do this, and that would really help us, and we'd be getting ahead, and we'd be doing our jobs well. Yeah, but are people gonna like us for doing it? Do you know what I mean? It's nonsense. Do you know what I mean? It's ultimately doing everything above board. The rules will probably change eventually. I imagine the pure profit academy sale thing will change. And they'll look for something else. They'll look for, like they said, with the amortization, with the asset selling within themselves, and indeed the pure profit. They look at everything there is, and essentially they're forcing the Premier League, the FA, UEFA to tighten up their rules and make them more fair. And in the meantime, getting ahead, but keeping it above board. Again, you have to say it represents doing your job properly. Trust me, if Man City could set up in such a way where they'd be I think Simon Jordan said it on TalkSport when Chelsea sold the hotels to themselves. They said, if Man City could have foreseen this a few years ago, they would have structured it differently to sell some assets within themselves rather than be in this position when they're accused of cooking the books. It's just clever. It's clever accounting. That's all it is. Again, it's sort of naive to expect that these people who get paid a lot of money for their precise job to optimize the finances to decide not to do it because of the optics of their, not even peers, their competitors. So yeah, I get it. Ultimately, Chelsea have found a way to get ahead there. And of course, in this instance as well, it's not just Chelsea, it's Aston Villa, it's Everton, some few other clubs as well. I do wonder if they will close it because obviously players need to be evaluated by fair market, but it's people thought 20 million for Carney Chukwuemeka is inflated. I don't. I said that just earlier today when I uploaded. I think it's going to be a snip. Do you know what I mean? But there will always be a fair market evaluation. By the way, that's what Man City are trying to sue the Premier League over, the fair market. Well, that's not for players though. That's for evaluating sponsor values. But yeah, man, look. I'll be very interesting to see if they can change the rules for the pure profit assets. Again, I feel like I wouldn't necessarily be against that. If it's for the greater good of the league, then fine. But I'm certainly not going to be frustrated by people within the club I support finding intelligent ways to optimize their finances that isn't breaking the rules. Do you know what I mean? Like it's almost like going to like a supermarket and using vouchers. There's like you've found a way to get extra vouchers to get certain products, and people going, "Oh, come on, that's not fair. You've done that. So what are you supposed to do? Not use the vouchers?" Analogy breaks down a little bit, but I'm sure there's a better one out there. A comparison to make it seem a little bit more easy to understand. But hopefully, I've been clear enough. Often I can be erratic with my delivery or mumbling, but it's a talking point, so I'll be very keen to hear what you guys think down in the comments section below. So do leave your thoughts on this whole loophole PSR pure profit thing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Like I said, we're on the road to 200k, which is pretty crazy. Very, very pleased with that. And as always, as the news pops off in the world of Chelsea, I will react to it here. So thank you for joining me, and let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you back here soon, hopefully. Peace.